Alrighty, yo, what is up, Knights? Just Rick here, back with some more DFO account dailies, which at this point, guys, should be its own series, because I seem to do this a lot, mostly because this is one of the main things about DFO, honestly, is that when you get to the end game, really, account dailies are what you're going to be doing to try and progress your characters and your account, obviously, and this is maybe the 6th time I've done it, and the interesting thing is the game is always adapting and changing to the recent version, that a lot of the dailies and tasks that you do are revised or changed. You don't always do the same thing. Your characters get stronger. They don't have to do these lower level dailies. They add new things like Econ, the strong ones, and all of that. So Origin update is just released. This is the first, I think I did the last account dailies, which was pre-Origin update. Now we're post-Origin, so let's go ahead and talk about what the dailies include. My first daily includes my female striker, which is going to be a main focus out of the dailies, and I'm going to be putting a lot of effort into her ancient dungeons. In this case, it's going to be City of Norfair and Cartel Headquarters. Now, the reason for this is because after the Origin, we ended up getting a new feature called the Epic Crafting System, which we're going to be abusing the Epic Crafting System on this character to craft the boxing glove. I don't know how good it is in compared to the 90, honestly, but I think it's going to be awesome. So, and I haven't had the fortune of getting it on this character, so I'm gonna go ahead and craft it, right? So I don't put a lot of invites into this character, honestly. I have my paladin and my other knight to worry about, so this one kind of got shafted, but I still want to get her a good weapon, so crafting it is a good way to do it. Now, what I'm doing is farming City of Norfair and Cartel Headquarters specifically, okay? And by doing this, by doing both dungeons, I'm actually completing 3 different tasks in one, in terms of, oh shit, I missed, in terms of actually farming the epic weapon. Because what you can do is, I'm actually farming the weapons for the legendary type weapons. There is a Gracia weapon that you get from here. There is the Dusky West weapon, which again you get from Cartel. And then lastly, there's even the Requiem weapon, which is something that you get farming any ancient dungeon. Which, so like I said, I'm killing 3 birds with 1 stone here by doing these 4 dungeons. Now it's a daily, like I said. I don't think it's beneficial to do any more than the 2 runs you need to actually beat the daily real quick. Right now, by completing this Norfair, I've completed the Norfair quest as well as the Requiem weapon quest. So there, bam, back to back. Like I said, I think it's, if you're trying to supercharge this, you go ahead and do the Cartel Headquarters as well, and that's what I'm going to do. And the reason for this I can explain a little bit better when I actually go to the NPC that is the Epic Crafting System. I'll have to talk about this in more detail because it's a pretty convoluted system, but basically what you need is a bunch of weapons. You need a bunch of either legendary or unique grade weapons, and you need at least, that's a demon challenge I can't pick up, that sucks. You're going to need a lot of weapons, like I said, so it's something that I knew about before. I just didn't capitalize very well on it. That was not a very good run. Let me go ahead and sell stuff real quick. Anyway, as I was saying, it's something that I didn't capitalize very well on. I knew that the Epic Crafting System was coming. I knew that I needed to farm some of these weapons, and I did, but I didn't know all of the intricacies. Like, I didn't know that although it is an account-bound type system, you don't build up the kind of materials per your whole account. You still gotta farm it on the one character, so I farmed it on like half of my dang roster. They have a bunch of legendary weapons that are just kind of waiting to be used, but I can't use them on my striker because obviously it has to be farmed on the character. So now I'm just kind of trying to catch up with that. Wish I'd have farmed it more. I wish I'd have known the details. Also, if you didn't know with the Epic Crafting, we're going to go over there right now. Basically, the whole idea is to make catalysts, which we are doing right now by farming these weapons. And you make catalysts at Kiri by doing the catalyst crafting. What we're making is the special catalyst, which requires, again, it tells you right here what we're doing. Gracia Family, Terra Reconstruction, which we are not doing. Requiem Weapons and the Western Romanticist. If you put them into here, you'll get a special catalyst. Now, what I did know is that if you reinforce and refine that weapon, even by 1, you'll get more catalysts for doing so. Now, when I did, I just threw it in there. I only got the 1, but you need to reinforce it at least once and refine it at least once, and you'll get much more out of it than just the one that you get. Same thing goes for the fine catalyst. If you get any unique weapon that's tradable, including the, or sealable, it should say sealable or resealable. If you get any of those and it's a halidome or unique grade, again, same process. Reinforce it, refine it by 1, and you're gonna get more than just the initial one. This is easy enough to get as well, and you're just getting these various catalysts so that you can dump it into the processing system. You can see I'm only at 4% because I didn't prepare very well, but that's what we need, guys. We need some fine catalysts, and we need these are the things that I can farm consistently. The last one is this godly substance, which is, it's farmable, but it's not something I would go out of my way to farm as a daily, which again, that was the whole purpose of this video. Now, that's that character. There's a lot more dailies that we got to do though, guys, so I'm just going to go ahead and jump onto what the current strat is. Okay, I'm farming a bunch of TOD and TOA. I've never stopped doing that. Ever since the beginning of time, ever since TOD has been out, I've done TOD and TOA. Pretty much this is the most consistent daily you're gonna ever see me do. If I don't play DFO, I don't play DFO every day. Sometimes I just leave it on and come home and don't even look at it, you know, I'll fall asleep or something. But the one thing I will do before the day is done is my TOD and my TOA, which I've been doing a lot better on the TOA. It's not like they've actually kind of nerfed the TOA from what it used to be. It was a lot more annoying. A lot of the mobs were stronger than they are now. Generally, if they're pretty strong, they also have pretty abusable, you know, UIs, or not UIs, AIs that I can abuse, and they're not too debilitating. Now, this one actually is pretty debilitating. Make sure I don't get fucked up here while I'm talking about it. But yeah, TOA is challenging, but not as challenging as it used to be. So avoided that. I always hate using this skill because it gets me punished sometimes. Okay. Hit with the Scud Genocide. Let's get this grab off. Heal a little bit with that. And you're done. This character is very strong in the TOA and TOD. She's a pretty strong character in general. You got a Dusky set on her and Darkness Low. I'm actually doing a lot of Anton with her now too. So I do TOD and TOA on her just because she doesn't have an epic weapon yet. I was not fortunate enough to get a good scythe, and quite frankly, there's only one good scythe. I mean, I was also considering doing the crafting system on that character, but the issue is her epic scythe. There's only one true scythe, and it's the Soul Devourer. It's probably better than oh shit, this guy. I don't remember this guy. Summons all those clones? Are you kidding me? How come I don't remember this character on any of my other characters that I play? Like, I don't even recognize this. I might have changed some of the gimmicks around. Alright. He's got super armor. My weapon master has been making short work, honestly, of all of these people. Ooh. Pretty much everyone in the TOD has been getting wrecked. He has a pretty dang good kit. What you need is like some good strong moves that you get at low cooldown, and he luckily has the flowing stance moves, which are very strong abusive moves that you can do a lot of damage at all times. You don't have to wait for your big cooldown skills. Not to mention you got like Raging Dragon, ISD, they have low cooldowns too. So he's like on 97, right? He's gonna be getting his earrings very soon here. So again, almost have no issues anymore on that guy. I need to learn how to play him a little bit better. I'm currently doing it on my Nen as well, the TOA. This is mostly due to the fact that she was one of the last characters. I'm not gonna be sure who I'm gonna be doing the TOA on after I clear it on my Weapon Master. I mean, this is one of the strongest characters I have that has yet to do it, and everyone else is kind of scrubby. So I have found that this character is very potent in the TOA, but she does require a little bit of time to ramp up. You definitely cannot fuck up the lion, whatever that's called, you know, the fist, this one. Tiger something, I forgot. Anyway, she has such a good kit though. She has, like, you know, she's gonna have her lion's roar, and by the time she gets her laser, her Kamehameha, they're pretty much gonna be dead for sure. I mean, you're gonna have Raging Light Dragon too, so it's just a really strong single damage kit, honestly. Saint Illusion, tons right there, you know. I don't think I'm ever gonna have any issues with this. I can just kind of, usually you want to use this right on top of them and use this as a burst, but you can actually just sit there and bide for time while you cast a Raging Light Dragon. So now this character is, I don't think, gonna have any issues going up to TOA. At least I haven't so far. We'll see. And we have one last character up the TOA. Before that, we'll do one TOD. We'll mix it up. I've kind of done this enough for the past weeks that I've kind of have a routine. I already know who needs to do it and what. Although if you don't, I think it's a good idea to have a spreadsheet. So bam, get one shot. It's a good idea to have a spreadsheet so that you know exactly what characters need to do what. Be my recommendation. Especially when you have a lot of dailies. In fact, I think I'm going to go back to that strat because I have a lot of different dailies I might want to do aside from just the TOD and TOA. I need to know who needs to do ancients. I'll discuss another ancient. We're going to be doing a lot of ancients as well on my other characters, but you know, it starts getting overwhelming when you need to figure out what everybody needs to farm and all of that. Oh shit. Okay. Kind of a universal thing. This is kind of, maybe I haven't talked about this before. Oh my god, get out of here, dude. I'm not having a good time right now. I have failed several times on my battle mage, by the way. I'm not as good on this character. So one kind of universal thing that occurs with any APCs in the TOD and TOA, what you're gonna find is that I guess the only one I really know for sure is that the APC is inherently weak to a certain element, right? If you're fighting a Slayer type class, I believe both the male and female, they are going to be inherently weak to the light element. The converse is true about the fighter classes, okay? The fighter class is inherently weak to darkness damage. So you can tell that when I used this move, whatever this is called, I switched to the darkness element because I knew that she was immediately going to be weak to it. So it's kind of like an inherent weakness. It applies to pretty much any of the fighter APCs that you see. Same thing with any of the Slayer APCs. I think there is one for the gunner and the mage, although I don't know if it's as potent or as noticeable. It's not as easy to abuse that one as it is for the fighters and the Slayer. So I don't even know it, honestly, so I don't even bother with it. But for sure, if it's just a little bit of extra damage, that is going to help you a lot. It definitely will when you fight Soldoros, for instance. He's going to be almost entirely resistant to anything but light. And on floor 66, there's this fighter called Omen of the 66 or something, and he's going to be 100% resistant to anything but darkness, which is weird, right? He's a completely dark guy, but he's weak to darkness. So it just kind of goes to show what I'm talking about here. That was my Lancer. I am currently working on getting a Halidom on him, which at this point in time, let's go ahead and do some farming on this guy. I probably will fast forward all of it, but what we're doing on this guy, he is farming a Halidom set, which he's not even wearing any accessories right now. I don't know what I'm doing, dude. But we're farming a Halidom set, and what we need to do, I kind of coincided that with also farming for his fish set accessories, which we're not even close to yet, so we're going to go ahead and do the pie quest. And because this daily is kind of long, I'm going to kind of truncate this a little bit, but I do believe it might also be beneficial to farm the Bloody Lane. I know I kind of shit-talk the Bloody Lane. I'm like, you know, it's not worth it. You should do the pie quest, and I still believe that if you're trying to farm for the fish set, the pie quest is going to be a faster way and more consistent daily to do than just consistently farming the Bloody Lane. But there's also reasons to farm Bloody Lane as a daily too. If you're doing Econ, for instance, you need a lot of Terranium. Bloody Lane is a good place to get it. You know, stuff like that. But it's up to you guys. I guess you get to see a little bit of this guy. I don't want to show this guy off too much because he doesn't have his second awakening, and I don't want to sell this guy short, okay? I feel like this character is strong, and I do like playing him, and I obviously am getting a Halidom set. This is preemptive Halidom set because I know I'm going to be farming Ancient Sets and Legendary sets here soon, so I like him enough to get that at least, and I'm getting fucked up here, so. I did change my build recently. I don't know if I like it, because I used to have that skill, the low-level skill max, and now I don't. Let's go ahead and slam this. I am going to be looking forward to when this guy gets his second awakening. I feel like he's missing a little bit of something. I'm not sure. I didn't really research into what his Second Awakening is going to be, but definitely in the terms of damage, obviously the Second Awakening always gives more damage, but you know, maybe a couple other skills to use while these ones are off cooldown, because honestly he just doesn't have that big killer burst move yet. I don't think his First Awakening is not as, you know, crazy awesome as even the Impaler, you know. I think he's missing that killer one-hit move, you know. So we pick up some Terranium. I'm going to change my build real quick and we'll do one more dungeon. Alright guys, let's jump ahead to the Witch's Forest. And like I said, daily, there's a couple reasons I'm doing this. I'm farming Halidom, so I need to do kill at least three bosses here in the Pandemonium region. And so, you know, farming this alongside of farming your fish set accessories is a good way to do it. You're going to fight 5 bosses when you do this quest line, so, and you'll get some materials to get that crafted. Having trouble here, guys. By the way, speaking of which, the Halidoms themselves, I had to kind of relearn how the Halidoms were farmed, because the Halidoms themselves are now farmed in a different manner. You're going to be using an item called, I'll just show it here, this Carnelian. You get 15 a day from Dailies, and if you're max level, you only get 15 a day. If you're in the process of leveling, you'll actually get some for every time you enter a new region, so it's really useful for when you're leveling, and all of the characters of which I leveled from start to finish actually have a ton of them, right? So because they got them each region. It's a shame though if your character existed before the origin patch and you leveled them up then, you don't have that option, so you gotta farm them daily like I am right now. So just throwing that out there. It's the only reason I actually have the 5 set already on this character, is because I got a bunch of them, hundreds of them, from just leveling normally. So we are, man, I'm having issues trying to kill like one mob, you know, like what skills do I use just to kill the trash mob, one guy that's still alive, you know. His basic attack has proven actually pretty useful. It's one of the few ones I actually bother to use. So, but again, I'll talk more about this character when I actually show him off in the DFO Blitz series, and he actually has his Second Awakening more importantly. Is he dead? Yeah, he's dead. Super dead. Wow, does it keep doing damage on him? That's interesting. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and cut to another character after I'm done with this. But obviously, I'm going up the TOD with him. That's the first thing I did on this character. And farming fish set, going to be farming a legendary set after I get this Halidom set. It's going to be smooth sailing on this character. In fact, at least right now, my current strength, I could probably farm the Halidom no problem. Or the legendaries no problem. I'm just, you know, covering my bases. I do want a full set. And even right now, I can get a stronger weapon. I can get the rental weapon instead of the Halidom weapon, since I didn't upgrade this Halidom yet. I think I will eventually, but yeah, you know, this guy's not bad. I like him. But anyway, guys, we'll cut ahead a bit. All right, and this is the daily I was talking about, guys. We got to kill 150 monsters and 3 boss monsters. So I just killed that last boss, and there you go. That's all I need to do as for the daily for farming Halidoms, because I need to buy them from the NPCs now. So anyway, I'll show that off after. So, you know, one thing I've noticed with the Origin update, and I think this is a remnant of old content being mixed in with the new content, right? So what's up with the boss music playing in this room, right? Because this is where the Graggle used to be. Now we have to do one extra room. If you go back here, this is normal content, right? This happens all the time, by the way, in Scenario. If you actually have the game music on and you listen to it, the boss music just plays in random rooms sometimes. And sometimes it carries over for the whole dungeon. Sometimes it's weird, right? So I think this is a remnant of the old content just not getting updated properly, because I think Graggle was in this room before. Now he's in this room. It's just like, it's not as refined as... it's not a big deal, honestly, but it's just like, you notice that kind of stuff like, huh, I believe that's where Graggle was before. I can kind of see the holes and the chinks in the armor, you know? So, and Neil pulls a perfect record here, but boosh. Alright, guys, this is the last one I needed to do, I think. And indeed, there is the quest for the rocks, the purification stones, and then this is actually the daily that the purpose of this, right? You need to defeat Metro Center monsters. Just do 3 dungeons, you'll take care of the monsters, and we need to kill 3 bosses. So we'll complete that real quick, and I will make my way over just like we did with the epic crafting system. to show you guys where the new Halidom crafting system and how that works. If you make a right over here, go to Syria's room, and just go to the Moonlight Tavern back alley. The Tavern back alley, by the way, is a pretty cool new area. You can have your characters just lounging around in here, which is kind of funny. I'm wearing a joke costume on my old night right now. If you go to Caracas here, though, he has the Halidom shop. And basically, you can buy a recipe for 20 carnelians, and then buy the fragments directly, of which you only need 10 per recipe. So basically, it costs 30 carnelian for each Halidom piece that you get. So obviously I have 30, I can get one accessory, Halidom accessory now. The weird thing is I'm going to be close to getting the fish set accessory, so I'm going to have like a Halidom fish set and then probably Ancient Ruins ring, so or bracelet. So it might not be worth it anymore to even farm these Halidoms, so I'm doing it anyway. So anyway, guys, that is the quick daily, and that's what Halidoms are like now. And like I said, if you level a character from start to finish, you'll have a lot of carnelians by default. So moving on though, guys, we've got this guy right here. I think is going to clear the TOD pretty soon. And the story with this guy is I've gone up the TOD total. This is my 3rd time now. And the first 2 times I've gotten the same weapon, the Demon's Bane that I have currently equipped. And it sucks because it's a good weapon. It's not a bad weapon. It's just that, you know, I'm not looking for any other weapon than actually I have a ticket on here, than the Infernal Pike. I just want to have some meme level Inferno charges, right? So I want the Infernal Pike, and so I can make my Inferno charges like really wide range and cool to use, but you know, the game really does not want to give me that damn weapon, and which is weird because the TOD has a very, very, very high likelihood of giving you a level 80. In fact, it has the highest likelihood. In fact, it's rarer to get a 75 than it is to get an 80. Trust me. If you look at all my characters, they all have 80 epic weapons. So I've been pretty unfortunate to get the 75 both times on that guy, but what are you gonna do, right? So I need to rearrange my characters to be more, you know, convenient for me. But I do know who's going up it. So we got my rogue. I don't know what the. I've been trying to get stuff on her with limited success. I just keep resorting back to the liberation that I have, and it's kind of liberation's a great go-to weapon, right? It's just like you can't get an epic, man, just stick it down with the liberation. It's just her weapons are not that profound, really. It's just the rogue has some pretty hard rogue and Shadow Dancer has some pretty limiting choices when it comes to weapons. That liberation generally seems like the better option anyway. So here is the only time you guys are gonna see this fucking asshole. We'll show him off a little bit more during the Blitz video, but he's fine. I really don't have that big of an issue with him. He's fine. He's pretty dang strong at what he does. He has some pretty cool stuff that I'll show off during the Blitz video again, but did I get one shot? Oh, thank God. That's level 1 skill, so got lucky there. But he can like backstep, throw spears and stuff. I guess, whatever. He's just so forgettable to me. We got 2 more characters. These ones down here, which I believe my not this character, but the other character. I forgot her name. That's how low she is on my priority. In fact, I was kind of thinking about it. I'm like, who currently are my least like totally? It's not that I hate them, but I've forgotten they existed. It's between the female Slayer classes and Dark Templar. That's her name. It's between my female Slayer classes and my male fighter characters. They just completely gone off the radar. I don't even know who they are anymore. It's kind of sad that I didn't remember what this class's name was, but then again, I think this is, although she has the best second awakening, it's kind of, she's a very forgettable class for me, man. Easily forgettable. I don't know how I'm gonna handle Soldoros, by the way. She's completely, I think I only got 1 skill that I can use on him, so I gotta kill him when I use it. Anyway, that's the TOD and TOA, guys. So we've completed almost all of the dailies, of which like our primary dailies. The one on the Leviathan, I don't mind missing the Dragon Lancer. So those are the main core ones I do. I do the one on the Striker because that's her epic weapon, and then I do all the TOD and TOA. The rest of the stuff that we're going to be doing is going to be more focused on specifics for each character, and I'm going to go do the easy ones first. One thing that I have neglected to do. And I did mention this in my Paladin video where I kind of mentioned, okay, it's a smart idea to do this is farm yourself a, where is it? This one right here, the Great Glory Bracelet, because what it does, it gives you 10% smash and 5% crit smash, which is a phenomenal item, honestly. It's one item that gives you both of them. Mostly you're going to be doing it for the attack damage smash, because generally if you're wearing Gracia or something like that, Dusky, you're not going to be using or having a smash or any smash mod. And that's kind of the nice thing about Gracia, which most of these characters have, is that they don't have a smash mod. So if you look at my setup right now, I really don't have a smash mod. I have Gracia everything. I have the fish accessories, which I did go through farming on this character. I have a creature, which is providing me, it could provide me 7% crit. So the Great Glory won't help me there, but I don't have a smash mod, which is something I just completely neglected to do. I did farm their Gracias and then kind of forgot about it, but I should have been doing it concurrently. You know, I should have, when I was farming the Gracia set. You need to get at least one piece of Great Glory, another set. Get the Great Glory Bracelet because it's such an efficient item on its own. And that is something I did bring up in my Paladin what to do at the end game video, you know, things that I farm at the end game for my end game characters, but it's kind of it's just been overlooked for a lot of my characters. I just did the two. I did Gracia and I did the fish set, and so I'm going back now and farming the King's Ruin. And it doesn't take very long. It could take me a week to do all of my characters, right? I think it only takes like a couple days, honestly. We're talking, I'm getting, how many am I getting a day, really? So it's only going to take me like a week at max. So I do this for 1 week and then I'll never have to worry about it. All of my characters will have the Great Glory Bracelet and, you know, everything will be nice and hunky-dory, I guess is how you put it. Alright. And like I said, these characters, it's not even going to be very difficult because the characters of which I'm trying to farm it on are all already geared. So this guy has a lot of equipment in his inventory. I've actually been doing some Anton with him because I have I have my Battle Satyr build, which is the true build, and then I got this shit support Satyr build, which is really awful. I am a terrible support Satyr on this character, but I got it anyway because Anton, you know, I need to. So I'm gonna suck it up and go completely bitch made support mode, but later on when he actually gets the epics, guys, we'll switch to Battle Satyr mode. That'll be the end of it, but that's kind of the dream with this character. It's a long time coming, honestly. He's not a very main focus right now. I have other characters I really want to play. It's kind of a shame. This is actually one of my first mains in DFO, period. It came this guy first and then Azura, which I know. Don't even start. Azura was a different class back in the day. He was the only other plate armor class, okay? So there was not a lot of tank classes. It was this guy and this Azura, that's it. So cut me some fucking slack. But because of that, I feel like this guy is, I know they gave him all the updates with the mace update and all of that, but he feels a little bit stale just in comparison to other classes that exist nowadays. I remember back when I used to play him back in Nexon days, it was XXXZ, so I used my giant weapon launcher, and then sometimes XXX, you know, the Blades of Purity, you know, it's just a really arduous kind of task to go through there and do that. So I believe I'm doing the same thing on this character. That's why I said I was going to come back to her, farming that Great Glory at least. And I think I'm also farming Sea God on her as well, yes. So that is yet another ancient that you're going to want to do. And I believe I have Sea God already on my Crusader, but if you don't have it already, farm Sea God, because every class benefits off of Sea God as far as I know. And what it does, it gives you +1 to your swap skill. Now, I won't say every class, like for instance, classes like the Weapon Master already have a 9-piece swap. So if you already have a 9-piece swap, then you might not benefit off of this, but definitely if you're any other class who doesn't have a 9-piece swap, you're going to get 1+ level just for free, just for using, getting the Sea God. So something I, you know, wouldn't mind having. Also on this character, she has the great misfortune. I call it a misfortune, but it's a good benefit of having a level 30 buff skill, which is binge, I think it's called. And the nice thing is she can farm, or you can use any character to farm the accessories that are located in the Forgotten Lands. That's one thing I did the other day. I do not recommend doing that every day because it's kind of arduous, but you can farm the Forgotten Lands and get yourself one of those souls, which you can put on your sub equipment, and it basically gives you +1 again to your swap skill. So it's just a it's probably one of the most tedious grinds for a swap related thing. You can farm, like a lot of you guys probably know, the Melvin's Ring, Melvin's Shame quest. It's a very easy grind now. You can just, you know, knock it out in one, like maybe half a FP bar or something like that. It's not very bad. The Halidom Top, by the way, that's another thing you can do for swapping purposes. The Halidom Top level 55 has everybody swap skills. So again, yet another thing where you might want to... I'm just an autopilot on this character. It's awesome. Yet another thing you might want to grind is a level 55 Halidom. So yet another reason why you might want to do some carnelian farming, because you're going to need the level 55 and you need 30 carnelian. So it's going to take like 2 days to farm that, and you can do it by accident, honestly. A lot of things you can do on your character, guys. It's just kind of like, it's still the same old to me, you know. It's just different ways in doing it, right? I remember farming Halidoms, and you know, it was just a matter of doing scenario dungeons. Now they don't really have scenarios, and you got to do it a different way using the dailies. They've basically made Halidom farming a daily type of thing. So this is kind of what I've said at the start of the video, guys, that the process of doing dailies, that is a core system of this game's end game. It really is. And the dailies themselves, though, and what you're gonna consider and prioritize are changing all the time. So that's kind of what I wanted to. The point I wanted to make is that I like making this series because the dailies I do change. Oh shit! I wanted to jump over them, fucked it up. All right, now you gotta do it shitty way. And I'm still not doing a very effective job. I don't think I have very great skills to handle these guys anyway. I need some multi-hit. You guys reminded me that Astra, summoning Astra, actually, if I cast a skill again, I can cast a skill, which I almost never use, but I think some people do say it's pretty strong. So this one right here, the full forward space, if I cast it again, he does a little AoE screamo, which is pretty nice. You also did mention, guys, in the video that this is the strongest second awakening in the game. Boo! That's pretty satisfying when you can do that and you're not that geared. But that might be cool, honestly. It's always cool to, you know, have an accolade like that. You know, it's like, well, this class has like the best aerial combat in the game. Accolade right there. Get a medal. This character has the strongest second awakening. Another medal. So, I love this character, guys. I really am gonna probably go through Ekon in this character. I'm kind of treating her like my mistress right now, which is, my mistress is in that zone right now. She's really like, I got Dusky on her. I'm farming Ekon primarily on her. She's the next benefactor of an Ekon set, right after my striker. You know, I'm also doing that on my weapon master too. So there's some characters of which, there's only a few characters of which I am considering getting Ekon, due to the fact of how hard it is to grind. So the fact that I'm even considering it on this character is okay. That I tried to do it again. I tried to fly over them. You see what I'm doing, but it's on cooldown because I'm dumb. Nope, they're getting combo time. You know what? I wish her dragon wings can be used as an evasive, like they can be on the female Spitfire. That's one of the coolest things, that when she gets juggled, she can use one of her jumps to recover in midair. I wish the dragon wings can be used in that manner, at least in PvE would be hella nice. But let's go ahead and one-shot this dude again. So bam, yet another daily, guys, that you might want to do. Farming Sea God. So again, I talked about the Ancient Great Glory bracelet for the 10% smash mod and 5% if you don't have crit smash. Great item, probably one of the single best items that you can get out of ancient dungeons. Single items. I know the sets are really good, but if you just want one piece that's really good, that's a good one. And then also the Sea God pants. You're going to want to farm that. And again, like I said, it's going to take you about a week, and that's it. You can forget about it forever after that. So the optimal way to do it, to get it in the least amount of time, is to do it concurrently while you're farming your armor set. Okay, if you're getting Dusky, or if you're getting Gracia or Sea God or something like that, farm the Great Glory at the same time. Farm the Sea God at the same time, you know, because then you can get 3 quests, do them all at once. It's only logical to do that. Now, one thing I forget to mention on my Dragonite is that I'm also farming some OV on her for her swap sets. It's a pretty quick grind and, you know, well worth the effort. I've already shown that on a couple characters, guys. I don't need to go through the whole roster, but these characters that are lined up down here, all of them are recipients or going to be recipients of the Great Glory bracelet, of which I have yet to farm. So I've just forgot about them. They all have legendary sets. They just don't have Great Glory bracelets, which is completely my fault. The last daily that is different from the others is Ekon. I'm making my way over there because I'm going to do a whole Ekon run on this character. What you're going to need to do is pick up this quest. Do not forget to pick that up. You can just click on the bulletin board. I found that the mission book is very convoluted and hard to read. Honestly, it's just like you got to be in the right area. Just go to the mission board and it'll automatically select it for you. Make sure you have a swap set, and make sure you have a legendary set. Make sure you have enough you know, exorcism to actually not get penalized, and you're going to be doing pretty well. You might want an epic weapon, so I'd say if you're not already, go up to TOD for sure before you come up here and try to take this place on, because it ain't easy. Let's just say it like it is, guys. It ain't easy. I know a lot of people try to claim it's easy, but this is content that is properly scaled, properly leveled. You know, it's gonna end you up with a gear set that's about as strong as the level 85 set. So it goes without saying that it has to be pretty difficult to get. You know, it would be kind of pointless to have it a set this strong be so easy to get. So don't be surprised if you're gonna be tearing out your hair farming this shit, because I'm just telling you right now, it's not an easy farm. So but I do like Ekon, mostly the music. The music here is fucking sick, but they've simplified Ekon a lot from when it came out in terms of a lot of the complaints that I brought up in my podcast. I think that was podcast 2 or 3 or something like that. I was complaining about Ekon and how it's just not beneficial to do it. Now I think it totally is. It's easier grind. The bosses are not as annoying to you know, deal with. They don't have as many iframes. A lot of their HP and annoyances are removed. Like for instance, in this, oh my god, in this specifically, my 2A, but in this dungeon specifically, the last room actually respawned all of the mini bosses again. So it's just like, ugh, you got to deal with these fucking assholes 3 times and basically, or 2 times. So they've removed all of the annoying gimmicks like that, and a lot of the bosses are just easier in general. And then the nicest thing is that they added one last dungeon. Instead of giving you the same dungeon as a bonus reward, they'll give you the same dungeon, but you choose a direction that you want to go. Instead, they added a new dungeon, which is, personally, I really enjoy it a lot. It's Ekon's the strong ones, and it's kind of the same but different, obviously. What you're going to be doing is, well, we'll show it off, but you're going to be fighting these bigger mini bosses, and only the mini bosses, like a one-on-one kind of deal. So, and the unleashed system, the overdrive system is a little bit changed. Your overdrive skill is going to be a little bit different, and your cooldowns are going to be much more reduced just because of the one-on-one. You're going to be burning a lot of skills. So, but yeah, it's a bonus region for a reason. I think it's easier than this content right here, but you get rewarded more for it. So basically, the only requirement is you got to do 3 Ekon dungeons. You just got to do 3 in a row, so in one day. So I'm going to do that quickly here. Making short work of this, by the way, guys. My mistress is, like I showed, she doesn't even have a Smash mod right now, and she's doing pretty dang well. I do like her First Awakening a lot when we're doing this kind of stuff, because she can kind of tank through stuff and makes it a lot easier. The mess is kind of adjusted for when you're in that mode. You can do a lot of basic attack and kill a lot of things just by being in that mode. But last run, guys, I'm not even using all my skills, honestly. I mean, the cooldown reduction buff is incredibly nice. Make sure you got to use it, obviously, but it's very nice to ensure that you're not getting fucked over here. By not having any skills. So this guy's very annoying if you don't super armor through his stuff and hold him for a second so you can actually deeps him. He's gonna jump around, and he's one of the few guys who is still annoying even after they changed him. But if you have any holds, I recommend using them and just burst them down. use my tentacles here, so I haven't been using them. My build has changed slightly on this character. I do like this skill right here. I used to hate this skill, the Scythe Massacre, but that's only because it's the Battle Mage syndrome all over again, okay? It's the same thing I said about Avengers, that I didn't like using some skills on Avenger, but after I got some gear and I got some speed, more importantly, the skill is not as cumbersome to use. It used to take forever for her to go through the animation of that shit. But, oh, fucking this Scud. But yeah, now it's like it's a high deep smooth, you know, something, you know, just took a little bit of me getting some different gear before I had a change of heart on very strong skills. So sometimes that's what it takes, guys. It's a two-way. I missed Scud Genocide, man. Can't believe I missed it. Didn't even kill, man. Maybe I'm not strong at all, guys. All right, there we go. You see at the top right, we were charging up our Ekon, the Strong Ones dungeon. It is now full. So you'll see we have now the option to enter the next dungeon, and that's going to be the Strong Ones dungeon. Different music, also equally as awesome. But like I said, we're not going to be fighting a wide array of guys this time. We're going to be one-on-oneing most of these guys. We get our Unleash mode, and now my cooldown skill is a little bit different. It's the Scud. So abuse that is what it's telling me. Keep using that move because it's one of your strongest moves, obviously. For that reason, you might want to, you know, if your build does not incorporate, it should, but for the most part, try to incorporate skills that are getting buffed up, obviously. Especially when you're doing Ekon. I mean, it's basically suggesting skills to get because of the ones that they actually buff up. So. Short work right now, man. This character is one of my strongest. She's not my strongest. The other characters that I'm doing this on, by the way, are my Weapon Master, which he's average. He's probably the weakest one of the characters I'm doing it on, and that's surprising since I've given him the most gear. He has my Elven Knight's old gear, and he's still not very impressive. I got to use my 1A there. Happens when you start talking, guys. But yeah, the strongest character that I'm currently running Ekon in is my Nen Master, my female Nen Master. She is fucking dominating everything. She has the best kit for these guys. She has the best kit for, you know, killing trash mobs. I mean, she's designed to do this. She's obviously very powerful. Oh, okay. This happens if you win this, you can actually overwhelm the boss right there, which will stun him for a second. Gotta mash on the keyboard. It's kind of one of those systems. I don't get it happening to me very often. I think it only happens at certain HP ranges. Don't forget to go over here and do an auto loot command and pick all this shit up too. But yeah, it's gotta mash, which I know for some reason people in DFO don't know how to fucking mash. You know, I remember in Bakal, people always failed that thing. It's like, dude, just mash, yo. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. There was a little bit of Ekon the Strong Ones. I think I've shown off all the different types of dailies that I have been doing. They do take quite a bit of time, especially if you have a lot of characters. But that's Ekon right now. It does cost me quite a bit of money. I'll filter through this of my heavy armor, and hopefully I got some cool stuff. But yeah, guys, I mean, there's a lot of different dailies I'm doing right now. We can farm an epic weapon. We can do Ekon dungeons, TOD, TOA. I'm farming legendaries, all different kinds of legendaries. I'm farming a Halidom on this guy. I'm also farming, you know, the fish accessories on this guy. You know, I'm getting the Sea God pants and Great Glory bracelet on this guy. I can do, like I already mentioned, Halidom farming for the Halidom level 55 top. I can be farming Melvin's Ring Quest for another swap weapon. I mean, you can farm swaps, you can farm gear, you can do anything, and it's all related to dailies. So hopefully, guys, I've given you guys some ideas. I don't think I've knocked all of them out. There's still a lot more you probably could do. Let us know in the comments about anything that I kind of missed, but don't forget to do that. I guess another thing that is maybe not the direction I wanted to go with, but there's a lot of dailies I do that involve merely picking items up. Like, for instance, I don't have any on this character, but if you go to Toby here, just pick up a demon invite box. If you have the Carnelians and you're not going to be using them for getting Halidoms, that's your best option. If you've done guild dungeons, you probably have a large stockpile. Mine's dwindling, but a large stockpile of guild certificates. Don't forget to get your guild certificate box. Another thing is, if we have events going on, which we do, and I have been strictly doing them on my paladin right now, which she actually has a lot of carnelian, so I'm gonna go to Elvengar, talk to Toby, pick up the demon invite box, and then go down to Hendon Mere, because that's where all the events are right now. So again, dailies upon dailies upon dailies. The events are dailies. The quests are dailies. Everything is dailies, guys. It's just trying to paint that picture here. You can play the whack-a-mole game. There is the mint note mystery game. You got to do all these because you're gonna miss your chances. 3 times a day, 1 time per, like the items in this shop. Account day, once a day. Okay, I'm gonna get that. Same thing with this. There's a double hell event. I don't think I picked up the little mimics 10 a day. Don't forget to do all those daily stuff, guys, because this whole game, if you haven't seen it yet, this whole game at the end game, that's what this game is all about. And you just you're missing days if you're forgetting to do that. So again, maybe you might want to make a spreadsheet. But anyway, guys, this video is long enough. That's all the tips I got to give you guys as to what my account dailies look like. And I will catch you nights later.